rally is pretty much over, although there's still a fair amount of people. We got a couple of people on the Tea Party side here, and could you give your name?
Kara Curley.
And your name?
Edward Wagner.
Okay, Edward. Now, a little while ago, I was interviewing a gentleman over there and a lady who decided that not only were the Tea Party people fascists, but we were all getting paid and we're very rich, being supported by rich Republicans.
I was a wealthy investor by guys in hard hats.
Now, have you seen any of this money? I mean, I haven't seen it myself. I'd very much like to have it.
I'd have a much nicer camera if I had any of that money. So, that gentleman seemed to think that rich corporate Republicans won in Wisconsin, and I'd be willing to bet that they were outspent by the Democrats and their union allies 2-1, and still lost.
Now, why do you think there was an awful lot of anger here from what I saw, particularly against the Tea Party? Why do you think these guys were so angry at the Tea Party?
I think there's two things going on. First, there's a certain kind of union thuggery that's by reflex. They've done it all the time and they've gotten away with it. And they don't realize that they're liable to show up on the internet. They know that they're not likely to show up on the evening news. The second is that I think you're right, what you said. They're starting to lose and they don't like to be on the defensive. That's what makes them irritable. Wisconsin, the Republicans won rather handily. And they don't know what's going to happen in Massachusetts. I don't know if they realize this, but I suspect some of them suspect that the numbers of Tea Party people we see now are liable to increase once the state legislature follows their orders and raises our income tax. That's the only way that we can pay for what the unions paid the government for.
Now, I'd like to ask you, I see you retrieved one of the union signs over here. Were you the recipient of any of the anger today, or is that basically, are you counting coup with that, or?
The recipient of the anger? Oh, yeah, the insults, ad hominem attacks. That's all they could say, though, you know. Then they started mentioning Michelle Bachmann and Paul Ryan, but they couldn't tell me anything about them. They didn't really know what they were talking about.
Now, do you think the frustration is because they think they're going to lose this fight?
I don't know.
How do you think it's going to end?
In Wisconsin?
In Wisconsin, yes.
I think that the governor is going to persevere. Now, I think he has to, because he has to set a precedent.
Now, the polls are favoring the Republicans right now by 10 points. Do you think that those results have been sparking the frustration and anger that we've seen here today?
Probably. They really thought about it.
All right, well, thank you very much for both.
All right.
Well, it's interesting. This is the first poll information I have heard, and I've been waiting for that to come. I know that would be something that would be decisive, and certainly affect people's temperaments. Those are the polls in Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, that was a nationwide poll. There was a poll in Wisconsin that was commissioned by the union, but I didn't get a chance to look at the details of it today.
Okay. Events are on our side. That's the problem with the unions. Events are on our side. We don't have enough money. They're going to have to test the endurance of the taxpayers.
Boy, that's squirrel.
Squirrel. And they know it's not likely to end very well. And also, I think there's some tension in the unions, which they are covering up, which is that the unions are going to start breaking up. What is in the interest of some union people is not in the interest of all. In Wisconsin, for instance, it's in the interest of younger and newer teachers to have the pensions limited, because if they don't, those younger and newer teachers are going to be the ones that are laid off. Here, the Teamsters may make a good show here, but I think there are plenty of Teamsters that know that the government is partly responsible for the fact that there's close to 10% unemployment in this state, and that if the public sector unions get everything they want, the unions that represent private industries are not going to have very many jobs.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time.